So, come in the office this morning, see Coney.
What's different?
You're sprouting. Facial hair? What are you going with? Are you going to go soul patch?
You can barely call this facial.
What are you going with?
I'm going with anything.
What are you going
No,
with?
you're going with, what is it? You going with the
You remember back in the day, you used to
Sparrow?
go get your hair cut and they'd have like the little book.
I do remember the book.
With all the haircuts in them. You know,
Or no, it's like when you're creating a player.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going with?
You're like, I want the
facial
Zach from
hair
Saved by the
6?
Bell.
Exactly. I want the 2008 cut, please.
Yeah.
A little shorter.
No, I'm just going for, hey, I'll shave it after the haircut. Like that, you know?
I think you should let it grow.
I think you should let it grow.
I think you should.
Now
I saw an old
now I'm
picture of you with
intrigued.
the soul patch and a little
Dude.
bit of
That wasn't a soul patch, though. That was just how my hair grows in. That was just me not shaving.
alien.
Look,
That's what. But the word
now,
came
now
down
I'm
on
intrigued
high.
to see. Let it ride for a little bit.
The word came down on high from the wife. She said, "Hey,
There you go.
let it go."
Let it ride.
I love it.
That's.
I see you, Darby.
It's a very strong push. Got a great Monday show for you today. We got a ton to talk about. We got live calls. Start taking those at 7:10 a.m. Central, 8:10 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you call in 1-855-236-3228. Bob Huggins resigns as West Virginia's basketball coach following a DUI arrest. The Suns are finalizing a trade involving Bradley Beal and Chris Paul. And Wyndham Clark, great story, is the 2023 U.S. Open champion. I'm Jake Crain. Welcome to the Monday edition of Crain & Company. Now, don't get me wrong, San Diego State is a fantastic school. It's in a great location and would be a good ad for most Power 5 conferences. And I love the Gaslamp District as much as anybody. But if the Pac-12 thinks that San Diego State can help save them, they are sorely mistaken. Now, if you didn't know, last week the Aztecs sent an unofficial resignation letter to the Mountain West. And even though they don't have a Power 5 conference invite yet, the most likely destination, if you follow the bouncing balls, would be them replacing USC or UCLA in the Pac-12. Now, I'm not going to dive into the financials, even though they are important, but we'd be here for an hour and a half. But let's just say the Mountain West isn't going to cut them any breaks when it comes to a foreseen leaving situation. Now, San Diego State has a brand new stadium. It's really nice. They have a solid program with a solid fan base. But it's just unfair to ask them to even come close to saving the market the Pac-12 lost when USC and UCLA departed. Now, if the Pac-12 does bring them in, I appreciate the aggressiveness, but it's pretty much a bad sign for the future of the Pac-12. Now, that doesn't mean the logo is going to disappear, but I believe there are more big-time teams that are close to leaving the conference here shortly, and I'm not too optimistic about the league's new TV deal that they've got coming up. Now, the truth of the matter is, the Pac-12, from a Power 5 perspective, is a dying breed. I would not be shocked to see Sarah McLachlan starring in their next commercial, and for just 30 cents a day, you can help keep the Pac-12 alive for 5 years. Now, I don't enjoy saying that, and it seems they're going to be the first big casualty of conference reduction, as I call it. But if I wanted to make everyone happy, I would just sell ice cream for a living. Now, perhaps the saddest irony is this year will probably be the most competitive the league has been, top to bottom, since I can remember. Just look at the quarterbacks that are returning. Now, you can call it a last hurrah or going down swinging, but either way, the Pac-12, as we know, is pretty much Gonzo the Clown. I'm going to bring in my co-host, David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback, my brother, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver, Blaine Crain. Guys, I don't love to see, I like the aggressiveness. I get it. It just makes sense. Some people said San Diego State to the Big 12. I'm not believing that. It's pretty much lines up for the Pac-12. Now, when you do look at the financials, they wanted that letter they sent to the Mountain West was trying to get an extension for another month before they have to withdraw because it's a difference of like $18 million. And they asked that so they can get somewhat of a reprieve from the financial situation that it would cost them by leaving the Pac-12. And the Mountain West was like, no, we're not going to play nice. If you're going to leave, then you're going to pay every cent of it. But the bigger picture here is, I know you have to replace USC and UCLA with somebody, but with those two gone, there's nobody out there that's going to replace that. And then you hear Utah may be going, Washington may be going, the Arizona schools may be going, and I love Fresno State as well and some of these other places. But there's just no way, David.
Yeah, so San Diego State would need to give a year notice to withdraw next June, is what this article says. If it waits past June 30th, the exit fee they would jump from $16.5 million to nearly $34 million.
Yeah.
And you talk about the aggressiveness. The Pac-12 hasn't even officially offered them yet. So that's what's the most interesting part of this, because none of this is surprising. We've been talking about San Diego State for a while, which is a fine university. We've been talking about Fresno State for a while. And when you say, San Diego State's not going to be able to replace USC and UCLA, I agree with that. Just like Houston and Cincinnati can't replace Texas and Oklahoma for the Big 12. But the more that you look at this, the more you have to tip your hat at what the Big 12 was able to do.
Yeah.
Because they said, okay, our two biggest brands are gone. Everyone thinks our conference is collapsing. And they pieced together a plan to at least be able to get four big markets, even if, not universities, the four big markets taken care of. So I think that, you talk about Utah, Colorado, and then the two Arizona schools for me, Arizona and Arizona State. Those schools seem like they can exit at any time to the Big 12 if they wanted, especially geographically. And Colorado always used to be in the Big 12. To me, what's most interesting is Oregon, Oregon State, Washington, and Washington State. Because those four schools, to me, up in the northwest part of the country, what are they going to do? Because that could dictate the fate of what's left with this conference.
No, without a doubt. I mean, and when you look at what the Big 12 did, they said, all right, we lost two. We're going to bring in four.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of a recipe maybe the Pac-12 can use. But Blaine, again, when you look at the schools now that have either gone to the Pac-12 or you look at, and again, there is no official invite yet, but you look at what San Diego State just did in basketball as well. It's a nice draw for the Pac. I feel like should have gone ahead and offered it. I wouldn't be shocked if we find out there was an actual offer on the table. We're just not hearing about it. But I mean, who else is really left out there? I mean, Boise State?
I don't think there's anybody left out there that can come save the conference, right? I mean, what's a big enough name out there that you'd be happy with? Oh, this kind of fixes San Diego State's not even close, in my opinion. You're seeing the Pac-12 die. That's what you're seeing. They're on life support right now, and it's sad you brought up earlier in your monologue. It's a good conference right now. I think San Diego State will come in and will have more success than what people think, because I do think they'll get invited, because I just don't think the pool is huge. I don't think a lot of people are itching to go to the Pac-12. And I heard Utah not making a lot of money right now. You're not making a lot of money in the Pac-12. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pac-12's gone in 5 years. Maybe less than that.
Maybe less.
I mean,
the biggest surprise to me is the TV deal. What's taken so long on signing some sort of TV deal? There's still top-notch football teams in that conference, and beyond football. Look, like you just talked about, there's good basketball in that conference as well.
Well, I mean, you look and would it be something where the Pac-12 says, all right, Gonzaga, you come in as a basketball member only. We'll bring in San Diego State. We'll bring in Boise State. We'll bring in Fresno State. All of that stuff's fantastic. But if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, which we all know every conference is, with the Big 12 that has now, raised the Titanic per se, and they look like they're here to stay. We know what the SEC is. We know what the Big 10 is. Even though the ACC is having some problems at the top from a revenue standpoint and certain schools wanting more, I don't see them going anywhere. It just isn't. If you're San Diego State and you're looking back, you're like, all right, we got a chance to join a Power 5 conference, maybe. Is it something where you want to join the Pac-12 as they're going down? Or do you see maybe if something else opens up, down the road? Because geography doesn't matter anymore. Just look at USC and UCLA. So I find the whole discussion fascinating.
Well, I think you're San Diego State and you joined the Pac-12 and you had success earlier. That's only going to make you look like a better date at the dance, right? So come in, you have success. If I'm another Power 5 conference, sure, I'll take San Diego State. But at this point, if you're the Pac-12, I mean, who can you go get?
Yeah, that's again, the market.
Boise State, like if you're a non-football, Gonzaga, if you want to make real money, you better get a football money maker. That's what's going to keep you, not non-football sports. Basketball's only going to do so much. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're going to keep up with the big boys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's more important than getting more schools in is just keeping other schools from leaving. You need to be on the phone with Oregon and Oregon State and Washington State, Utah especially, who's been winning the conference there. Be on the horn with them and keep them from leaving, and at least get to a point, keep your conference afloat long enough to see whatever the next iteration of college football is. Because maybe that's what we're going, is that it's going to be so different that there are no more conferences, and then the Pac-12 can say, well, we at least survived to the the major restructuring.
Well, the transfer portal isn't just for players. I mean, it's the exact same thing some coaches are dealing with in the transfer portal. You're having to re-recruit guys to stay, and then you have players that are still leaving and going other places. So we're going to keep monitoring it. Obviously, I hope the Pac-12 figures it out. but it just doesn't look like it to me. If I was a betting man, I would bet on the under for 5 years. From being, not that, like I said, not that the logo is going to disappear, but that them being a legitimate Power 5 conference. And some people say they're not now. I don't agree with that. But I tell you what is legitimate, all right? Your style when you shop with our friends over at Indochino, all right? And it's time to take it to the next level, because dressing for success can help you look better and be more confident. You're going to walk around with immense swagger. So whether you're attending an important meeting or networking event or simply want to impress your colleagues, our friends at Indochino have everything you need, from business casual, dress shirts, camp shirts, and even blazers. This isn't just a suit place. All right, don't get it twisted. Indochino offers a wide variety of options for every occasion. David, you brought in your suit the other day.
Yep.
It was looking really, really fresh. I mean, look at these colors. It's 2023, man. You want to be popping when you walk outside, and Indochino's got it popping. The ordering process, unbelievably easy, and their camp shirts, which, you know, are my low-key favorite, are the perfect addition to your summer wardrobe. You have to check out their site and at least browse through the options. They have a shirt for the beach, barbecue, camping, and any occasion, really. So take your style to the next level with the Indochino. So go to Indochino.com. That's Indochino.com. Use our code BOOSTER and you get 10% off any purchase of $399 or more, which is very, very cheap. You can go anywhere and you're not, I'm telling you right now, Indochino, it's the best bang for your buck, and they do a really, really good job, and they make it easy for you. That's Indochino.com. Promo code BOOSTER. Look fly, my guy. All right, let's get to Booster Club.
All right, started with one of the truest OGs. That's Cole Frank. I think we all know where this is going. $2 donation. LeBron is mid, MJ's a GOAT, and the Pac-12 is lost.
There he is.
At least he's right about two out of three of those.
The lost in the jungles.
Now, let's hear Texas Ed. He says the Pac-12 already hit the iceberg. We're hearing the quartet play as the ship is sinking.
Ooh.
Yeah, those guys were ballsy too, man. I'm trying to get off the ship. Screw your music. I'm like, look, y'all, here, I'll get on a lifeboat and play it.
They went
right as
down
we're
like
going.
gentlemen, you know?
Yeah, but like,
Kept
I'm
some
trying
class.
to
Class
get
all
off.
the way.
We got a concert in 2 weeks. We've been working for a month for it.
Class.
And I watched the guy playing the cello, and I'm just like, he's playing it though. You better play good. That's the way I see it.
They looked down there. They saw Jack couldn't even get any room on the board. They
Still,
said, "There's no hope for us, man."
Scoot your ass over. Lazy and churlish.
I was going to Sister Riggs. She says Boise State won't bring the Pac-12 any more money. The market isn't even big enough.
No. I mean, again, that's why, and David, you brought it up, the Big 12, it was such a great ad. I mean, Cincinnati, big market. BYU, it's a religion. Market's huge.
Orlando.
Yep, Orlando, and obviously Houston. Houston's a sports hub. Remember, if you donate, your question gets asked.
Speaking of donations, Ryan Gade, $5 donation. Appreciate it, brother. As a Mountaineer, no matter what his national reputation is, Hugs will forever be loved and be an absolute legend here in the state of West Virginia.
Yeah, tough situation. We're about to dive into that. You know, again, you hate to see it. Really, the whole circumstance of it, which we're going to get into. But I agree with you, Rhino. All right, one more.
Let's go to Matty Ice, 1994, also known as Nighthawk. Crazy to think that the Pac-12 is about to have possibly their top 5 most competitive years within their conference ever. This year, in less than 5 years from now, they'll probably be extinct. # maybe the dinosaurs.
No, it's going the way of the dodo bird, man. You look at Washington bringing back Michael Penix Jr. You look at Utah bringing back Cam Rising. Bo Nix going back to Oregon.
Focus.
Caleb Williams, obviously. And you look at DJU going over to Oregon State. From top to bottom, this will be the best the Pac-12 has been since I can remember. And that's the irony of it. That's the irony of it. And they needed to stack more seasons like this to maybe get a little more credibility. But I don't know what the view like cap is of the Pac-12. I feel like they already hit it. Like it's like everybody else is watching it go up. All right, the excitement's going up, and the Pac-12. And look, some people have different motivations on the West Coast. I know places that love football out there as much as we do.
Yeah.
As much as we do here. There's just not as many of them. Mm-hmm. And some of you can say, oh, well, there's a lot of stuff to do. Well, there's a lot of stuff to do in Atlanta. Okay, there's a lot of stuff to do in places here. It's just, you know, what your priorities are, and I think the Pac-12 is a little more, you know, worried about rowing and stuff like that than we are here. I think it's just the truth, you know. But let's get into a little best and worst.
Let's do it. I'll kick it off. How about the boy Wyndham Clark, man, your U.S. Open champion, and really just the entire weekend of the U.S. Open was fantastic out there at the Los Angeles Country Club. You know, we saw a pair of 62s on opening day. Some people thought, oh, they made the course a little bit too easy with those records with Xander Schauffele and Ricky Fowler. But over the weekend, you saw the course play a little bit tougher, and not many guys guys were getting low yesterday, even though Tommy Fleetwood comes out of nowhere with a 63. For the second 63 in the final round of a U.S. Open in his career. That guy's going to get a major at some point. But talking about majors, Ricky Fowler, we saw him have the 3-day lead.
He'll never win one.
Look, it's playing well in majors on the weekend hasn't seemed to be his thing. And then you look at Rory McIlroy, was right there the entire round, just couldn't quite get it done, even though he did shoot even par. But Wyndham Clark, man, just stayed steady the entire way from Oklahoma State. His mother died of breast cancer when he was in college, transferred to Oregon, got a Pac-12 championship. Talking about the Pac-12, I think he won the championship out there. Now he's a U.S. Open champion. He's won 2 of his last 4 starts, made several $1 million this year. Can we show the video of him hitting his putt on 18 here?
You can just see the raw emotion after he makes this. Cash.
Who takes down all the stars.
Look at that, man.
Yes. Caddy's so hyped too.
With all those names trailing him the whole day.
Yeah, and my thing is, a lot of people are going to talk about Ricky, shooting 4 over, 5 over, whatever it was, and Rory down the stretch. Struggling again. I think it's been 9 years now without a major, which has been a major disappointment for a lot of people that had him as kind of, and again, I mean, you finished second at the U.S. Open, but the story is about Wyndham Clark. Last year you're ranked 293rd. You have all this adversity that you're talking about. Nobody really in this final stretch. Some people were talking about you, hey, it's a great story, but a lot of people thought you were going to fall back to the pack. But just grinding, and he talked about, I felt like I belonged on the stage even last year when nobody talked about me, when nobody else thought I did, when I wasn't a household name. But it's good. It's always good when a good guy wins. And I know the narrative's going to be about who lost and how they lost, but it really should be about Wyndham Clark because, I watched all 18 on Sunday. Every time that dude had to either get up and down or make a putt or whatever, he did it. He earned that. He won that tournament. And you talk about the difference in the course in the weekend. The pin selection on Sunday was just evil.
Insane.
It was evil. Like you're looking, it shows you, and it doesn't do it justice, right? Everything looks flat out there. It's not flat. But then it shows you the arrows on the green. There was one that just looked like it was like, what is the answer to this? It's like it was built on some putt-putt course or something nuts like that, but absolutely great story from Wyndham Clark.
Halfway through the third round, I thought 16 under, maybe even 17 under would win the tournament.
Yeah.
And come to find out, and that was when guys were at 10 and 11. Well, that's what ended up winning the tournament.
I thought the amount of people there were great, and a lot of people, I know you just showed that putt from Wyndham, but that approach shot, you saw Ricky hit it that green. Just the way you had the angle you had to come in at that green and that putt. Great from Wyndham. Man, I said this, if you put a gun on my head and you had made me choose between Ricky or Rory on a Sunday, you might as well just pull it, buddy.
Yeah.
Because both these
Congrats,
guys,
your dad.
because both these guys are going to choke it. And the crazy thing to me, and I know Rory, he hadn't won since 2014. Rory hit 15 out of 18 greens and one putted once on Sunday. It's always something with Rory. Ricky, I'm not surprised, but Rory has Rory's career been a disappointment?
If you're starting,
he was the Michael Jordan coming.
Yeah, that's another thing too. We got to remember him. You remember him and like Spieth and all them come. They're like these are the chosen ones. These are the chosen ones. And Rory up there just crying about Liv and I need my money back because I was loyal. How about you make a putt, dog? How about that?
He is
so much
too
of that's
good of a
about
golfer.
expectations. Like no one expected Brooks Koepka to ever win a major, and then he had 4. And everyone thinks he's one of the best golfers in the world because he is. Rory got his 4 quickly, and it was kind of the Spieth thing. Spieth got 3 so fast, it's like, he's going to win 50 of them.
He's the next Tiger.
Yeah, I know that, but you haven't
9 years?
You haven't won one since 2014?
9 years?
But golf is just so different than, say, tennis. Like, if you're the best tennis player, you're going to win all the majors. Like, we've just seen that with this big 3 that's just run through tennis the last 2 decades, basically. But golf, it's like, man, anybody can win a golf tournament. And on Ricky Fowler, it's like, no, my gut tells me, no, Ricky Fowler won't win a major because this was the closest he could get. A Southern California kid, you have the 3-day lead, and you still blow it on the 4th. But then I watched Sergio Garcia finally pull through and win the Masters a couple years ago.
It's
so it's like, man, you just never know. Also, being on the West Coast was kind of cool this time because, we watched the Masters and some of the East Coast tournaments. Being on the West Coast, finishing at 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Central Time on a Sunday on Father's Day was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, it was. It's the start times, man. Every time I looked at it, I was like, all right, is it on? Is it on?
Yeah.
Is it on? I'm like, oh, all right, Roy tees off in 10 minutes. My best is the Dodgers fans.
Oh.
All right, now I want to be quick on this, but we all know the story. They had the Hocus Pocus, I don't even know, the Sisterhood of the Traveling Indulgence Plants, whoever it was, who we know is very anti-Christian sentiment. There was a lot of people at the actual game, but when they honored him, and you can see it, it's the person dressed up like the Ice Queen from Benevolent or whatever that is down there. There's nobody there. Let's go ahead and just run this clip. Everybody's outside protesting the Christian hate that takes place in this group. Let's go ahead and let's roll the clip. Yeah, look. Hey, hold on, I'm getting a call. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares, they're all outside. There's 4 people clapping. And Blaine, you said what, the Dodgers lost 3 in a row since then?
Yeah, since this thing happened, they're 0-3. I took them twice over the weekend. I believe they got beat 330-0 by the Giants one game.
Yeah, people don't forget.
I'm not surprised.
The Community Hero Award right there they're getting.
For what?
The Community Hero Award.
For
Everyone
what?
wanted to point out, well, that was way before. Like, there were more people at the game. They weren't there watching them get a Community Hero
no,
Award.
I guarantee you if somebody had saved like somebody from a burning car or like that, there would have been a lot of people in there or something like that. But it just...
No, I mean, do you think this will change anything?
You know,
Owners watching this game, do you think they care?
You know, like Jake said, I would have liked to have seen the stadium stay empty for the entire game. More people actually did come to the game, but that's still Los Angeles. And there were more people outside protesting than in there watching them get the Community Hero Award. That's at least a start in L.A. as far as I'm concerned.
For sure.
So are the Dodgers going to, tank and everyone's going to stop watching Major League Baseball tomorrow? No. But I think that sent a strong message.
Especially the way the Braves are playing right
I mean,
now.
come on, man. The bases are bigger. You might as well watch it. My best is actually going to be the NBA and John Morant. 25-game suspension after what happened, the 7 things he did, getting caught with a gun. He came out and apologized again. I want to be hopeful for John Morant. I do, but you got to think he was suspended 8 games last year, so it's a total of 33 games. And you have to play in his 65 games at least in the season to be available to All-Star awards and stuff like that in the new CBA. So I think the NBA got this right. I think if you're John Morant, it's time. I think you're at the ceiling right now. You go left or right, and you have to make the right decision. I think if you're the Grizzlies, you're in the worst situation because you really don't know, but you have to put your trust in John Morant. I mean, because he's one of the faces of not only your franchise, but the NBA. So I think Adam Silver got this right. 33 games, he's not going to be able to get incentives on his contract. I mean, if this isn't a wake-up call at this point, I don't know if there will be one for John Morant.
Yeah, I mean, it's just why are you running from the money? Like, why are you running from the money? Like, and again, I'll say it. John Morant did not grow up in the hood, okay? Let's just call a spade, all right? Dude had a basketball court in his backyard, okay? And that's, to me, it's so disrespectful to his parents the way that he's acting. That's the part that if I was and somebody who had raised him or his guardian, his parents, whatever, I would be furious. Like, dude, I worked my ass off so you didn't have to live that life, and you want to go out here and act like this? You're not fool. And guess what? I don't think it's a cool lifestyle. I get it. We see it in music. We see it in other places. You know, people kind of want to be gangster or whatever. You're a mega rich NBA player that can provide for his family and their generational wealth. And you're throwing it away for what? Instagram? You need to get away from that Donovan PAC cat is what you need to do. You need to, if I'm a member of his family, that dude is not allowed in our house. He's not allowed anywhere because that dude is leeching off you because he doesn't have talent. You have talent. The only way he can make money is by using you. So you need to cut ties with this man. I don't know you personally. I don't know him personally, but I can watch and see, and it seems like every time something goes wrong, he's right in the middle of it. You need to kick old buddy to the curb and be yourself.
So you're saying the 25-game suspension, even if Ja Morant plays every game after that, he wouldn't be eligible for MVP, All-Star, and the incentives on.
So that's why I think the NBA. I think this is more about the NBA punishment than Ja Morant. I mean, I think the NBA got it right. I mean, I don't think it'd be more severe than what it should be. I think you took his postseason stuff away, awards-wise. He's not going to hit certain incentives on his contract. And when it comes, And it was either Father's Day over the weekend. I think John Morant's father has to be a huge part in where John Morant goes. You saw the way John Morant got into it with Dad, got into it with Shannon, on court side in one game. So what is he getting told to by the man who raised him? Okay, that's my biggest concern.
Did you see the Jack Jones story with the Patriots DB?
Yeah.
Because Jack Jones had sent out a tweet when John Morant got in trouble before saying the same thing, kind of something similar to Jake, worry about your money, put these guns down. And then Jack Jones got arrested at the airport in Boston for trying to take two guns on with fully loaded feeding clips or something. It was just another story.
I just don't know. I'll never look. This is America. You have every right. You have every right to own a gun, but you have to do it the right way. But how dumb do you have to be? How to even come out and tweet that about John Morant, but take guns to an airport?
Yeah, come on, man.
So what's the punishment? Do we know punishment?
I don't know.
You're not getting away with it.
I don't know yet.
You're not getting away at all. What's your worst?
My worst, Bob Huggins. West Virginia basketball coach, arrested for a DUI. He has now resigned and retired from West Virginia. Keep in mind, this comes on the heels of just a few weeks ago where he used the anti-gay slur on radio station. I was just wondering, man, Bob Huggins has been around so long, he knows better than this, right? So is this are we in a midlife crisis situation? There was he left West Virginia with no choice here. If it was just the DUI, that could be one thing. Just the anti-gay slur on radio station, that could be one thing. But both of these put together in such a short amount of time, it's West Virginia just had to move on.
Yeah, West Virginia, it's not like they've been just absolutely balling out in the NCAA tournament and have all these championships. It's sad because it's an end of an era. Bob Huggins, Huggy Bear, whatever you want to call him, is a staple of college basketball. If you kept up with college basketball at all, Bob Huggins. And I say this, without knowing Bob Huggins personally, but I would be shocked if this was the first time he went out drinking and then drove. I feel like this, and I've seen it with a lot of coaches. You see it with people in everyday life. Accountants, plumbers, coaches, whatever. I wonder if this is a symptom of a bigger problem. I wonder if what he said on the radio may have been due to maybe something similar like this. This is a legend. I'm not saying that happened. But if he does have a legitimate problem, he needs to get help because I think he blew a 2.0.
Yeah, that's
something insane.
I wanted to look for the
I saw one story where it said he thought he was in Ohio and was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It just, again, I don't care who you are. Getting drunk and getting behind the wheel of a car, you're putting everybody at risk.
Yeah,
absolutely. How can you look at your team and sit here and say, well, you need to be accountable and you need to do the right thing and you need to do this and you need to do that. Well, I'm out here blowing 2.1, which is basically the equivalent of literally just falling down drunk.
Yep, blew a .21, 3 times the legal.
Yeah. 0.21?
Or more than 2 times the legal limit of Pennsylvania.
You'd have to take, how many Jello shots at the College World Series that is? It's a lot. Speaking of a lot, LSU just hit 10,000 Jello shots already.
LSU's never going to lose a party.
No.
I promise you that.
No, for
sure. I think with Bob Huggins, I hope he gets help. But one of the greatest basketball coaches to ever do it. One of the 6 with 900-plus wins. Was he over 20 years at West Virginia? It's a lot of great memories with Bob Huggins. If you go watch throughout the years, but Bob Huggins changed a lot of lives. He helped a lot of kids get out of situations that would have been a lot worse without him. And I know this is bad. I know it looks bad at the end of the career, and it is bad. You should never drive drunk. That's never the answer. You're putting everybody else's life in danger. But remember some of the good things about Bob Huggins. So he did a lot of great things for basketball.
So he was also the coach at Cincinnati for 16 seasons.
Yep.
However, his successful tenure with the Bearcats ended earlier than anticipated due to a 2004 arrest for DUI in Cincinnati.
Here we go. Let's figure it out. All right, my worst. David Freese, okay, South Alabama alum, turned down a Hall of Fame invite from the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, remember, he grew up around here. And my problem isn't, if this was, I could understand it more if this was the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, okay? And he said, I don't feel like I did enough in my career to make the Major League. This is the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame, okay? And if you don't know what David Freese did or you don't know that name, here's what David Freese did. And you don't have to have a 15-year career. We're not talking about Albert Pujols here. You don't have to have a 15-year career and hit 800 home runs. There are guys that are in Ring of Honors in the NFL and things like that had huge postseasons, that had a huge moment. Dallas Clark, I know he was a good player. I remember one play, the catch. in the Super Bowl from Joe Montana. Dwight Clark, I'm losing my mind. Here's what David Freese did. In 2011, he was a World Series MVP, the NLCS MVP, drove in 21 runs, which was an MLB record, hit 350 in the World Series with 7 RBIs, 3 doubles, an epic Game 6 home run that kept the Cardinals alive in the series. Dog, to me, this is more selfish than if you hadn't have earned the right to be in the Hall of Fame and got in, or whatever narrative that is. Why? You grew up in St. Louis. This is a great story. He said he didn't feel like he achieved enough. Dude, I mean, look, again, at the end of the day, were you the greatest player in Cardinals history? No, but you have one of the greatest or some of the greatest postseason moments in the history of the St. Louis Cardinals. And who turns this down?
I read this story and I was still confused. So you're saying the reasoning that he turned down the Hall of Fame for the Cardinals is because he felt like he wasn't worthy?
Yes. He felt like he wasn't deserving, as he said.
That's on the team to decide, though, right?
Yeah, it's not your
well, here's the other part. The fans vote, too.
Oh.
So, like, you basically looked at the fan. You want to know if you're a Hall of Famer? You want to know who knows? When all these fans vote in, who you did so much for in that 2011 postseason, I just can't believe this. This to me is like somebody. We need a welfare check on this guy.
Have you ever heard about this?
No, never before
ever
in my
heard
life.
someone doing this?
Never heard. That'd be like if the mayor was like, "Hey man, you saved all those dogs from that flood. We want to give you a key to the city." You're like, "Nah, I've only saved 8 dogs from floods. I need to save at least 15 and a cat from a tree."
It's not like when there's one appetizer left in the middle of the table and someone tells you to take, you're like, "Nah, I didn't pay for the meal. I don't deserve it." It's different than that.
Yeah, like I don't get it. Like David Freese, come on, man. South Alabama alum. Like I want to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Some of the biggest home runs. And you go back and watch.
Get it. I don't get it
I
at
think
all.
it's the first time I've ever heard of something like this.
To me, it's selfish. This is selfish. Because now this shouldn't have been a big deal at all. Hey, everybody come to the ballpark. Hey, and now introducing 2011 postseason hero, David Freese. Oh, man, there's the jersey. It's in there. All right, good. All right, let's play baseball. Let's move on. But now I'm sitting here talking about how David Freese just looked at everybody in St. Louis eye and was like, yeah, no. Wild.
Well, speaking of baseball, my worst is the Yankees.
Oh, man.
Over the
what
weekend,
about the Mets?
someone pull out a broom. The
suck.
Red Sox swept us. The Red Sox are 5-1 versus the Yankees this year. Fun little fact for you: without Aaron Judge, the Yankees are 11-13 and barely can score a run. 2 people got sent down to AAA after this weekend, so it's not looking great for the Yankees. And I mean, you need to start figuring out, because I'm starting to get upset. And you already see it in me once. I'd hate to have to make a couple calls. And send some people riding on dragons.
You got some sources?
Yeah, it's just bad right now. We're not a good baseball team. If I see another error in right field, I might just jump off the first building I can find. I mean, this is a major leagues, guys. This is a softball intramural league someone's playing on a Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get some guys in here who know how to get it done. We have more money than Poseidon, okay? So can we please start playing some good players? And why isn't Shohei in a Yankees uniform?
By the way, nice call on the Shohei home run.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to the Cincinnati Reds. Their half came back in the Central, which is shocking.
That's incredible.
To me. It is shocking. But yeah, man, I hate to see the Yankees and Mets struggling. It's just
But AL East, though, man.
hurts my heart.
AL East.
5-1 against the Red Sox.
Hold on, let me look at the Braves.
Which that moves every
46,
team in the AL
46.
East above 500 now.
Wow, 5 games up in the NL East. Man, just...
Did you see that comeback yesterday?
Wasting Aaron Judge's career.
They were down
Dude,
5-0.
The lineup right now is a horror show for pitchers.
Yeah.
Ozzy Albies is going insane.
Albies, that home run yesterday.
Rosario's hit a home run like the last 4 games. He's like, throw it. Just please, God, throw it.
Looking good.
It's looking really good. Hey, also, Raleigh, don't go over 6. I tell you what, though. You'll go 6 for 6 if you drink Black Rifle coffee. You can save money, and it's America's coffee. All right, we talk about Black Rifle all the time. We drink it literally every morning. And with the 4th of July just around the corner, that means barbecues, gatherings, and so much more. You don't always have time to brew coffee the traditional way. That's why you need to check out Black Rifle's coffee ready-to-drink cans. Ready-to-drink coffee is perfect for people who need their coffee quickly. Contains 200 milligrams of caffeine, so you can kapow! Get up and go work. And is available in a variety of flavors. Vanilla Bomb, Scrumptious, Salted Caramel. I want all of it. Mocha, delicious, and vanilla caramel. Pour it all over me. The Black Rifle Coffee is a veteran-founded coffee company operated by principled men and women who honor those who protect, defend, and support our country. That's a heck of a segue. With every purchase you make, they give back. So stop running out of coffee and sign up for a coffee club subscription, all right? You can join the club. Don't tell anybody, though. Actually, tell everybody. Have Black Rifle Coffee delivered straight to your house on a schedule. You also get your high-quality coffee at lower prices with free shipping. So save money and drink America's coffee. Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, at checkout for 10% off your one-time purchase or first coffee club order. That's blackriflecoffee.com. Then use that promo code BOOSTER and get 10% off. You can find it in grocery and convenience stores near you, but just go to blackriflecoffee.com and use that code BOOSTER. Black Rifle Coffee, America's coffee.
I love it.
All right.
Use it. Booster.
Yeah, use it.
Colt Frank, $2 donation. Says, I need a Crain & Co. barbecue competition.
A what?
Hashtag barbecue competition.
Yeah, David's going to win that.
But, debatable.
But it could be anything. It could be anything. Complains to say he's going to win it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He's like,
if I don't walk into it with a loser mentality.
Amount of ice cream trucks robbed. Oh, I got that one. The amount of crocheting you can do in an hour.
You don't want to see me crocheting.
I'll put 100 on it.
You can make that happen.
Let's go to Taylor E. He says, I get why he did it, talking about Freeze, because he doesn't feel like he's on the same level as Bob Gibson. But as a fan, he should be solely for his contributions to the 2011 World Series.
Nobody is saying he's on Bob Gibson's level. Like, that's not how this works. You don't say, okay, well, all right, Chipper Jones, are you as good as Chipper Jones? Then you can get that. That's not how it works. Mm-hmm. Every circumstance is different in the Hall of Fame in all sports. But again, this is the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Number one, he wouldn't be turning that down. And number two, I could be like, all right, I get it. You didn't do enough to make the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, but you did for the Cardinals because that's a totally different situation. I don't know, it just smells.
Or to be out there stumping for it, right? And advocate. Like to be out there in the media being like, well, I'd like to be in the Cardinals Hall of Fame. I think I deserve it. That's different, right? Like if you're asked about it, then you can self-deprecate and say, no, I'm not, that's the greatest honor for the Cardinals.
Turn it down?
Just take a compliment, bud.
Yeah. That's when you can be self-deprecating. After the organization and the fans have already decided and you've gotten the invite, then it's just say yes.
It just feels like when you're like pulling in the parking lot and there's somebody that's like turning and you have to go by them and you're waiting to be nice and then they're waiting to be nice and just nobody moves for 20 seconds and then you both move at the same time and then stop. It just feels like that.
I'm going.
Isaiah Crandell, $2 donation. Thank you, Isaiah. Says, where will the Arizona Wildcats go? Hashtag Lunchable pizzas are trash.
Oh, first off,
wow.
Hey, you already got the poll down, what happened,
Yeah,
and they agreed.
second-
Lunchable pizzas are great.
Second thing's exactly right. And I think it's Big 12, right? I mean, I know, I guess you could maybe say Big 10, but I just feel like the Big 12 is so aggressive right now. And if you get one, you need to get the other with Arizona and Arizona State. So I would say Big 12 would be the most likely destination.
Let's go to Adam with the $2 donation. Thank you, Adam. Is it too early to get excited about the Reds?
No. And I want to say this. And all joking aside, after the Reds lost the first game of the season, I put up the graphic, hey, they've already been eliminated from the playoffs. This, to me, is a story, and you see Major League Baseball guys covering it, right? You see all the talking heads talking about it, because it's shocking when you look at what everybody expected from the Reds, especially after last year. But it's not really a national narrative yet. I mean, we're 72 games in. They're a half game back, and they're good. Like, if you watch the Reds play, do they have a ton of superstars running around? No. But you know what kind of vibes I get from the Reds? I get Miami Heat vibes, right? Because if you look, it's like a different guy's doing it every night. I like the youth. And Cincinnati, I tell you what, when you look at this roster, I mean, and the way you're winning, you score 3 in the 10th to beat the Astros 9-7. Now, I know you got a guy that starts on second base. It's the California rule, which I'm not a huge fan of. Here we go. Let's go last 3 series. At Cardinals, game 1, loss. Game 2 at the Cardinals, win. Game 3 at the Cardinals, win. At the Kansas City Royals, who I know are absolute flaming trash right now, but win. Game 2, win. Game 3, win. Then you just swept the Astros? I mean, you look at Jonathan India. You look at some of these guys. Ellie De La Cruz is an alien. If you hadn't seen this guy, absolute 100% alien. One of the fastest human beings I have ever seen on a baseball. Like, this dude beats out routine ground balls, guys. I don't know if you
That one
got a
hit the
chance
first
to
of the
watch.
weekend.
Like you legitimately, this guy is a next level athlete. But the Reds, they're fun to watch, and they're winning with team baseball. Some nights it's the hitting, some nights it's the pitching. And what wins? Versatility. It's the best tility there is. Just like availability is the best ability there is, versatility is the best tility.
Oh, that's good to know.
Definitely. All right, let's get a rapid fire.
All right. Rapid fire, boys. The Suns and the Wizards are finalizing a trade deal to send three-time All-Star guard Bradley Beal to Phoenix for a package that's expected to include Chris Paul, a couple other pieces, several second-round picks, and maybe a pick swap. The deal could take a few days to complete. This would allow, Chris Paul the chance to land with a possible contender. We were talking about the Suns. What should they do? Should they blow this thing up? Should they not? Sounds like they may add Bradley Beal to Kevin Durant and to Devin Booker for that new big three, quote unquote.
Yeah, I do want to say we are taking calls right now. 1-855-236-3228 as well. Go ahead and call in. We're going to be taking those in a little bit. But this to me seems like adding speed to a race car that has no brakes. Like, offense is not the problem for the Suns. Great. You added another scorer, okay? Not saying Chris Paul was this elite scorer, and I get the big three that everybody's trying to create. You're not getting past the Nuggets if you can't play defense. That's just the truth. What's Bradley Beal going to stop Jokic? What's he going to stop Jamal Murray? You didn't fix the problem. This is like the person who's severely overweight that's like, you know what? I'm going to go on a Slim Fast diet. And then they drink 9 Slim Fasts a day, which is awful for you, instead of just replacing one meal with the Slim Fast. It's cool. They're the Globetrotters. That's what they are. A lot of offense. Nobody plays defense. You're not beating the Nuggets. This smells like another loss in the conference finals to me. You'll have some games, it'll be nuts. They'll score 200 points. Devin Booker, KD, Bradley Beal. But guess what? Just like we see in college basketball, just like we see in all sports, sometimes the offense just isn't there. And you have to be able, just like I said, to win a rock fight, win with defense, win with transition game because of your defense. And I think the Suns got a little better, but does this make you feel, I see you, Blaine, resident NBA expert. You feel like this made the Suns better than the Nuggets?
Well, I think, no, I don't. I don't even know if you'll make it to the conference finals depending on when you face the Nuggets if you're the Suns. But what's their next move? All right, what do you do with DeAndre Ayton? Because I don't believe in DeAndre Ayton.
I don't either.
I don't think he was good enough to win you a championship when he was on his team. Hell, he couldn't stop Jokic anyway. There's nobody in the NBA that's going to stop Jokic. So it's not going to happen. What do you do with DeAndre Ayton? One, you have no picks to trade with. All right, so right now with this Bradley Beal, you lost Shamet. I mean, you lost CP3. CP3 is never going to win a ring, by the way, which is somewhat depressing. That's kind of the first thing I thought of when I saw this. But it comes down to depth. All right, how good is your bench and how good is your defense?
Who's your role players?
And how do you stack this up? So obviously, where do you put Bradley Beal at? If you're playing Bradley Beal, do you put him at the 2 or the 3?
You got to put him at the 2.
You got to put him at the 2. Devin Booker's a bigger player. It just wouldn't make sense to not put Devin Booker at the 3. But what do you get for DeAndre Ayton? You need a big. You're going to need another big, but you're obviously going to take a not as good as big as DeAndre Ayton and a lot of pieces on your bench. If you can get this trade right, all right, if you're the Suns, and fill your bench up enough, because you're going the way of the Heat, all right, with all the undrafted pieces they had in the finals. You're looking to hit on guys no one thinks you're going to hit on.
And Pat Riley's the only one I've seen be able to do that.
For sure. So you got better, but you got better at something that didn't need fixing, all right? You see, the Nuggets, as good as they are on offense, they're a top 5 defensive team in the league, and they're long. You got longer with Bradley Beal. All right, you did. But no one's looking at Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and like, damn, these guys are really good at playing defense.
Yeah.
All right, Chris Paul did not play defense. Chris Paul's a littler guard. But the next move, if you're the Suns, is going to depend whether or not you're be able to stack up with them guys from Denver. Because if you don't get pieces and defensive pieces and a somewhat good big who doesn't have to be phenomenal, all right, you're not going to make it past the Nuggets.
I would take just overall, and some would say, oh, it's obvious. I would take Draymond Green over DeAndre Ayton in a second.
For sure.
Second.
The height difference, you just get to a certain point where,
well, yeah,
if you can't stack up, at least close to stack up. That's why I think the Nuggets Heat series went the way it is. I mean, your biggest guys, Bam, who's 6'9".
Physics is physics.
Yeah, so it's just like it's sooner or later. Usually, the bigger guys win, especially when it comes to basketball.
Well, this is the ultimate all-in play for a championship quick because Beal, Booker, Durant, and Ayton, that's 4 max contracts together. This is with a looming collective bargaining agreement designed to severely limit that and keep these numbers under the luxury tax of $179.5 million. So
what's your next move if you're the Suns with DeAndre Ayton? You got to move him. You got to move him.
A couple more things in the NBA. Michael Jordan selling his majority stake in the Hornets. He bought this 13 years ago for $275 million. Now he's selling at a $3 billion valuation. So
I don't care if we won nothing.
That's a come up.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the fans. Like, you want to talk about flipping that house? It's not like Michael Jordan. You know how what casino is he in right now? That's the real question. But no, look, again, I forgot the Hornets were even an organization, to be honest with you. But look, I'm never going to get mad at somebody for getting the bag. You took it from what did you say, 100-something million to $3 billion?
275 to $3 billion, I think. Yeah.
When $175 million, like you're laughing at that compared to what it sold to, that's just, I can't wrap my mind around that.
Also, the perennial sixth man of the year, Lou Williams, is going to retire from the NBA. I think he was 17 seasons.
Yeah, a great career. Great career. Bucket. Walking bucket. Louis Buckets.
Mm-hmm. And college baseball. Let's do a college baseball update for the World Series.
Yes. Well, surprise, surprise, SEC's doing pretty good. TCU, who I picked to win it, survived yesterday against Virginia. They won 4-3. It's a long road to hoe for TCU. They're going to play Oral Roberts in an elimination game. Oral almost came back and won yesterday against Florida. Had that inside the park home run, call it error, whatever you want to call it. But man, fantastic games. How many one-run? Look how crazy this is. All right, every game besides one has been a one-run game. Every single one of them. And that's because Paul Skeens from LSU is from like planet Zornon 4 or wherever. You know you're good when you have to get a police escort back to your room. The pitching prospects coming out of this year in college is insane. They're talking about best in 20 years at the top of it. And Tennessee ain't out of this bad boy either. Now, they play tonight, but Wake Forest survived against Stanford after a weather delay. It's just been fantastic baseball. You've had all type of different comebacks. This is what makes the College World Series and college baseball fantastic. But you see the pitching depth now. Florida, 1 win away from the College World Series. LSU obviously doing what they did against Tennessee. They play tonight to see if they can get 1 win away. But I'm telling you, man, who knows? Prognosticating or predicting this World Series, you might as well just flip a coin. I'm so interested tonight in this LSU Wake Forest game. Mm-hmm. It's going to be elite college baseball. Yeah.
Where are we at in the little tournament thing we did Friday?
All right.
Does anybody know the score of that?
So I picked TCU and LSU, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so TCU won. They're 1-1, so that one's even. LSU is 1-0. And I think we had LSU as what, the 2 seed, somewhere in there? Cody, our buddy Cody.
Correct.
Mason,
LSU was a 2.
The graphic king. You picked what? Oral Roberts?
I picked Wake and Oral Roberts.
Oral Roberts won their first game.
Yep.
Wake won their first one. Oral lost their second one. So you're at +1 right now.
So and Oral's the last seed.
Yes. So it's 8. They won one. Mm-hmm. Then it's -8 because they lost one.
Okay.
Because it's double elimination. We can't do true Survivor League because it's not a single elimination.
So I took Florida.
Yep.
And I think they were the 3 seed in our pool, right?
I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
So
we went by odds, not national seeds. We went by odds.
Mm-hmm. So I came up 3 there, and then I had Tennessee, and they lost to LSU. But I don't know what seed.
Well, they could win tonight. I believe Tennessee. We had them at the 5 or the 6. I can't remember. The matchup against Stanford. I mean, God, you watching Stanford. I mean, man, for 8 innings, shoving. I'm talking about the starting pitcher, the changeup he was throwing. I can't remember the kid's name. It's just disgusting because remember their ace Matthews threw 156 pitches in the last game of the Super Regional. So they didn't throw him in game 1. They're going to throw him here against Tennessee. All right, which is why I get the Stanford pick when we get over to bets. But I just said something about this Tennessee team, man. There's just something about it. I don't think they're going to go down in 2 games. But, I mean, that Matthews kid's nasty. We'll see, though. Tennessee's the favorite. So get a lot of great college baseball watching.
It's been so fun to watch. Let's go to Devin21. She says, can I get a shout-out for my son, Cameron? He turns 3 today, and he's a huge Auburn fan. Cameron, happy birthday, brother.
Cameron, happy birthday, buddy.
Cameron.
Happy birthday.
Happy level up day, brother.
Let's go to Texas Ed. Are the Cincinnati Reds trying to get sold by management to move to the team to Miami? I think I've seen it on my story somewhere before.
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to stay in Cincinnati. I mean, they just got to give you a product that fans want to go see, and this year has kind of been a resurgence. We'll see if it can hold up, but at least they've injected some excitement into baseball in Cincinnati.
All right, let's go to David Wyman. What's up, David? He says, speaking of baseball, can I get a shout out to Bridgman High School varsity baseball team winning the Michigan High School Division III state baseball tournament.
Congrats, guys.
To see it.
Go
Bees.
Bees, go Bees, man. Just buzzing around, winning all the
way
time.
to the champ.
Brian Phillips, he says, hey, boys, just leveled up. Everyone's leveling up today. Not a birthday, not a marriage, but me and my wife had our first baby.
Nice.
A girl. Love the show. Keep up the great work.
Congrats, my friend.
Bro.
Love it, man.
Was it? This is the first weekend you're a dad? Andrew Gilmore says, I disagree when it comes to my NBA take. You can't stop the Joker, so you need to win shootouts. Beal's going to get so many open threes. Sooner or later in a series, all right? Not a lot of people are going to be making shots. It's going to come down to your what?
Yeah.
It's going to come down to your defense, all right? It could be the deciding game. I'm pretty sure the Nuggets, go look at what the Nuggets won. The Nuggets won the game where they didn't score over 100 points.
Yeah.
Right? 91-89. Sometimes you just got to win those games. Let's go to Brian Phillips with a $4 donation. Appreciate it, Brian. Just put something under that, and I can get it out loud to you. No Fun League Sports Channel says the Hornets are worth $3 billion. The Lakers got to be worth at least $23 billion.
Yeah, look, if the Hornets are worth $3 billion, the Lakers may be worth $1 trillion.
And keep in mind, that's just a majority stake. So that's just a part of it.
That's true.
Right? Like that's not the entire
That's
valuation.
true, but why make $1 billion when you could make $1 million?
That math is off, Mr. Powers.
$1 billion's more than $1
Dr.
million.
Evil.
$1 billion's more than $1 million, you idiot.
Are they ill-tempered? All right, let's go to Mike RFF. It's a lifestyle. Ask Crain and Co. Which is your next highly anticipated sporting event?
Oh, like what? Like
that we're going to or playing?
I think
because
maybe-
the UFC's coming here.
Yeah.
To Nashville.
I'm super jacked and tan about that.
Yeah. And
Everybody's excited.
yeah, we're going to be excited about that. Playing, though, I got into pickleball, boys.
Oh, no.
Played my
Here we
first
go.
pickleball match the other day.
How'd it
A
go?
lot of fun. I lost the first 3, won the next 4, so I'm up already in my first 7.
Okay, I like that. It's got a little bit of tennis vibes in it. You're gonna
Tennis meets table tennis.
yeah.
Is what it is.
Gonna
I'm always
grill
down to play.
Yeah.
God, you're reaching. You're reaching. Pickleball is not fair.
What are you talking about?
You get
you
every,
gotta stay out of the
you don't even have to
Tony just
move.
stands
gotta stay out of the
there.
kitchen.
You're like if you ran
Oversized
suicides
racket.
on the tennis court, you would just stand in the middle of the tennis court and just touch each line.
Well, look, whether
That's
you're playing
good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
whether you're playing pickleball or whether you're grilling, I want you guys to do something.
Okay.
I want you to picture the perfect summer night.
All right. Close my eyes.
Yes, close your eyes right now. Put out your hand. No, I'm just kidding. The warm breeze on your face as you lounge in your favorite chair outside. The grill sizzling with juicy burgers. Blaine, make a sizzling noise. The aroma of the food is irresistible, and your mouth waddles as you wait for it to be cooked to perfection. Now imagine what this perfect summer night would look like if you go to turn on the grill and your propane tank's empty. Oh my God!
No.
Propane tank's empty.
Sipping
But that's
it
where our
snake.
friends at Cinch can come in super
Ruined it.
clutch. All right, Cinch is a propane grill tank home delivery service. They deliver propane tanks right to your door on your schedule, and they do not require any long-term commitment or subscription. Plus, delivery is completely contactless, like David on the pickleball court. You don't have to wait around at home, and you can track the order on the Cinch app from anywhere. The perfect summer night wouldn't be complete without Cinch. All right, so go to cinch.com. That's CYNCH.com. All right, CYNCH.com. Or download the Cinch app and use our promo code BOOSTER. All right, to get your first tank exchange for just $10. That's CYNCH.com. Promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. Now, this is a limited time offer, and you must live within a Cinch service area to redeem it. So visit cinch.com/offer for details. By the way, my propane tank finally ran out this weekend.
Did it?
It did. In the arms of... So, guess what? I just called up Cinch.
Called up Cinch.
Easy.
Oh,
That
everyone's saying, I use charcoal in my grill. I don't need propane. How are you going to light your charcoal grill with your grill gun that you bought, obviously, if you don't have the propane tank to
That's exactly right.
You get that from
All right,
Cinch.
David.
That's exactly... See,
all
that's
right.
the next
Hey, calm
level
down over
thinking
there,
we
bud.
love you
Yeah.
for.
I got to point it at
exactly
me.
right.
I got one of those too.
By the way, we love when you call in. 1-855-236-3228. All right, Blaine. Every time I say your name,
God, speak.
every time I say your name now, I think I'm ruining Unemployment Dragon.
It's not Friday yet.
That's how much I've trained for myself. All right, Elite 11 reaction.
Let's go to Elite 11, boys. Julian Sayin, Alabama commit, won the MVP at the Elite 11. How big of a deal is this?
Okay, here's my deal on Elite 11. I can't sit here on one hand and say, hey, I don't trust a quarterback at Pro Day that's running around without pads on, throwing the ball. Why don't we have pads on? Why don't we have pads on?
Put the shoulder pads
This
on.
makes no sense. Think about this. This is like teaching somebody to drive, okay, but not giving them a steering wheel. Like it just doesn't make sense. It's fun for us to talk about. And these kids are incredible. Dylan Raiola, Julian Sayin, the Texas Tech kid looked pretty good.
Will Hammond.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Aaron Nolan, that kid is going to Ohio State. He's nice. I've watched his tape.
So Aaron Nolan's in the top 5 on every single.
He's not, and he's a
metric
lefty.
that
They
I
said he
saw.
looked really smooth in the drills as a lefty. But I'm not shocked. Look at where the top 3 guys are going: Bama, Georgia, Ohio State. Oh, I'm shocked. I can't believe it. It's cool to watch. It's fun to watch. Run around, throw stuff at targets. I'm going to know when I see you in pads and you're getting chased by human beings. Mm-hmm. That's how I'm going to know. So do I put some stock into it? Yeah, I don't want you to go out there and look like Ricky Vaughn early in Major League. I don't want you to just be out there and just don't even know where you're throwing the ball. I get it. But at the end of the day, you're running around in your underwear, throwing stuff without people chasing you. And you know that. It's a mental thing. You played the position, David. Mm-hmm. It's not a lot different when you know you're not getting hit. A lot different when you don't have pads on. Somebody hold my hand like a 6-year-old at Kmart. Thank you, Blaine.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, and explain to me why we don't have pads and a helmet on.
It makes a huge difference. You have to throw the football with pads on and a helmet. And I just watched Georgia win back-to-back championships with Stetson Bennett at quarterback. So this is just one small piece of it.
Said that.
At the same time, it's football. I want to win at everything, right? It's a competition. So if you're Alabama and you're saying, hey, the guy who's committed to our school just won the MVP in the Elite 11, you got to take pride in that. But then you're looking at Georgia. Georgia had 2 quarterbacks in the top 6 of this thing.
Yeah.
2 quarterbacks in the Elite 11. Like you said, Aaron Nolan, I saw ranked in the top 5 of every single list that was put out on this. So Buckeyes got another good one. C.J. Carr, the Notre Dame commit, who they got there from Saline in Ann Arbor, was in the top 10 of this thing. And that, if you're a Michigan fan, you got to ask, well, why was Jaden Davis not throwing better at this thing? But again, this is just one small piece of what you're trying to do from a roster management standpoint in college football. But it's still cool to keep up with.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. This is like 7-on-7 is basically the funnest thing to do ever if you're a receiver or a quarterback, let's be honest. Do I put any stock in this? I mean, no. Everyone here is they're going to be good football players, but you don't know till you have pads on and you get your bell ring one time. You have to get up and go get in the huddle and call another play.
Yeah, well, to me, it's like if you're a pitcher and they're like, all right, hey, we're coming to the Elite 11 pitchers. There's no batters that are going to be in there.
Yeah, well, it's fun to watch.
And I'm not saying I want them out there getting hit.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is put pads on them, put a helmet on them, and let's put the helmet cam on. You can do all type of stuff.
Yeah.
But let's wear what we're going to wear. Like, because again, if you've ever thrown a football, with pads and without pads, it is totally different. Totally different.
That's the thing. Why? And I haven't had football pads on recently, I'm going to be honest, especially quarterback pads. But why is it so different when you have pads on to throw football? I feel like they should make it easier. Because did you feel like when you're throwing, you've had obviously like your arm angle adjusts? Like, what's the biggest difference to you, David, with pads on and without pads on throwing?
Well, with pads on, I feel like Heath Ledger in A Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
You just have all this stuff constricting you, and you're trying to joust against someone else. Like, it makes sense, right? Like, you have to have this gear on to protect yourself against hits. I know they make quarterback pads smaller, right? But they can only make them so small before you.
And it's crazy to see. It's like most receivers don't even have knee pads. Barely have thigh pads.
Some of them don't wear hip pads
at all. Nuts. You're running around and those guys, look at D-Hop. You get killed every other play.
D-Hop's wearing a pad in his
and this blows my mind that the quarterback doesn't have less pads on.
At what point do they make, instead of the old school, not old school, but even the new school shoulder pads, just like a shirt that you put on that has the padding on here and maybe something in the middle? I think we're going toward pads that are like almost putting on an Under Armour shirt, like for the quarterbacks. I'm telling you, man, God, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Don't listen to what I just said. Any entrepreneurs out there? It's already patented. Hey, PJ, we're good on that, right?
What's it called?
We're good on that, right?
For sure.
What's it called?
Jake's compression sleeve protector.
Sheev.
I don't like that name.
The shirt. Well, guess what? Invent something. You come up with the name.
Everyone can steal this idea.
Here's a new name. Justine's wrong. That's what I'm gonna call it.
I
It's
love
gonna
it.
be it's gonna be the highest selling product of all time.
It's perfect.
How about that? But no, Elite 11, is what it is. All right, Blaine, real quick before we get to calls.
All right, let's go to Andrew Gilmore. What's up, Andrew? He says 7-on-7 isn't worthless, but essentially playing basketball. So many guys are great in 7-on-7 and are not the same in real life. There's 7-on-7 players. There's practice players. But you really don't know. That's why everyone gassing Joe Milton up in practice.
Yeah, well, look, you build chemistry, right? You work on the route combinations, working against different coverages, reading leverages. Yeah, there's stuff you get out of it, but it's just like inside drill. Like inside drill defensively, we'd bring the safeties over. Okay, is it unfair, kind of? Because there's nobody out of receiver and we know you're running? Yeah, but every other drill's made for the offense, so suck it up.
Well, I think 7-on-7 is more about the receivers and DBs, if anything, right?
100%.
But
I mean, you
pads on. Like, if you're a pads on receiver, obviously it's a little bit different, but it's not drastically different as other positions. I feel like it's more of a difference at quarterback, more of a difference at lineman. 7-on-7, you can really like getting off like non-press. Like that's when you can really see it if a guy can get off. Even with pads or without pads on, you know if a guy can get off press. That's just my opinion. Let's go to Cole Freak, $2 donation. God, he's just all over you today. How about hashtag Trader Jake? Painted shoulder pads on. We can get some shoulder pads on you?
Painted shoulder
painted. I'm not saying.
Come on, let's do it.
I'm not saying this is going to be like, well, what's her name? Girls in Silver Linings Playbook. Jennifer Lawrence in X-Men. I'm not saying it's painted on. I'm saying you put the shirt on. We're going that way.
It sounds like the guy who plays in that gear, that'll be the last game he plays.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your confidence.
Well,
you're off the board of Sheep.
Because
it's all going to go.
Wait, hold on.
You're off the board
sooner or later.
Because he plays so good, he's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I tried. No,
on, dude. But sooner or
you're
later,
off the board of Sheep.
It's all going to be VR, if you ask me. All right, let's go to Travis Elrod, hashtag Ask Crain and Co. What up, Travie? If QBs wear pads, should you be able to hit them at practice?
If QBs
wear pads.
Now that I'm finished, I don't care. Hit them all you want.
Look, yeah, I think when a lot of it depends on the guy. If you have a proven guy that's been through it, you be smart. You want to see the young guys move around when the bullets are flying. It just depends. I mean, I think in scrimmages, there's times where the quarterbacks need to be live. But outside of that, you don't want to be like the Junction Boys out there. Like, that's just not going to work in today's game, especially when you got humongous human beings running around tackling each other. So, but you know what will be good, regardless of how many times you get hit in practice? Your skincare, if you use Genucel.
True.
All right, what's the biggest summer secret to great-looking, glowing summer complexion? It's having great skincare products from our friends at Genucel. Doesn't matter, girl or boy, you need great skin. Sun, humid, dehydrated skin covered in dark spots and even puffier bags under the eyes are a problem for all of us. Genucel's beautifully curated Summer Essentials package is a limited edition package that includes their one-of-a-kind Ultra Retinol Super Moisturizer. It's a powerful plant extract alternative to retinol without the harsh side effects and is perfectly safe to use. Plus, you'll get Genucel's classic skincare therapy for under-eye bags and puffiness and concentrated vitamin C serum to nourish your skin for visibly clear complexion with a glow that will get compliments everywhere you go. I like the dark spot corrector. Y'all know me, I'm outside all the time getting my glaze on. So go to Genucel.com/booster. That's Genucel.com/booster, GENUCEL.com/booster right now to get your Genucel Summer Essentials package. And just for the summer, every subscription order includes a customized summer spa gift box. Absolutely free. Genucel.com/booster. Genucel.com/booster. You got skin in the game.
Skin in the game.
Soaking up. All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Calls. Gavin in Pennsylvania. Gavin, tell us what's going on, man. Set the tone on a Monday here.
Yeah, fan the Flames, guys. So I guess the biggest thing was how the Braves just keep rolling on and
sing it
winning
to me.
series after series.
Yeah, it's just an absolute.
Is there any way?
Keep going.
Is there any way that anybody's going to stop them in the National League East, or is it just going to be another Braves, Braves division title?
Yeah.
Gavin, why do you put me
like
in this
this.
situation? Good. I don't want to jinx the
Gavin,
Braves.
nothing's going to stop them. They already won the World Series.
And this is what happens.
They already won the World Series, Gavin.
This is what happens.
Congrats to y'all.
This is
When's
what
the
happens.
parade?
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. I'm loving the Braves' progress right now. I'm loving the lineup. Charlie Morton, figure it out. I mean, we're giving it 5 runs in the first 2 innings against the Rockies. But no, look, the Braves right now, they're really hot. Let's everybody stay healthy. I love the way we're hitting up and down the lineup, right? Rosario's been fantastic. Arcia's, you know what I'm saying, been a lot better than what people thought. Remember that Vaughn Grissom, Orlando Arcia back and forth. Grissom gets hurt. Arcia's playing well. So yeah, I do worry about the pitching depth down the stretch, right? We know Max is hurt. Soroka hadn't been himself. Charlie Morton got absolutely tagged the other night. But you got to love what you're seeing from the Braves fans. But who knows? It's a long way to go. Long season, Gavin.
Marlins 5-game back right now.
Yeah. God, the Marlin. Got me a Marlin. But yeah, Gavin, we'll see. All right.
Gavin, thanks for calling in.
Thanks,
man.
Gavin.
See you, buddy. All right, Ben in Missouri. Ben, what's going on?
Hey, guys. So I was just letting you know that it's been an absolute Fuego fire week for me the past week. So, of course, Nuggets won the finals.
Love that.
I got accepted to law school. And
talk to me.
I am reaching level 24 today. So it's a level
Oh, my
Wow,
I'll tell you
Ben.
what.
Ben, congratulations.
That's incredible, man. Where are you going to law
The
school?
kid's hot. Get a scratch off.
So right now it's looking like Creighton up in Omaha there.
Dude,
God.
I've lived right across in Council Bluffs, right across the river. Speaking about the College World Series, downtown Omaha is legit, man. They got some great breweries down there too with some great food. Creighton's a really cool place.
Man, good for you,
What type of law you want to study?
Well, right now it's really business law. I like the business side of it. My undergrad from Northwest, because this is Bearcat here. My degree is in business management and finance.
Nice.
Love it, Ben. Make sure you stay close to us.
Yeah, stay close.
And
Stay close.
if you ever need anything, just
Hey,
let
if
us
you look,
know.
if you look in the sky,
Mhm.
all right, and there's a symbol of somebody winking, you need to come to Nashville.
Yeah, there's a Chinese balloon. It's not a Chinese balloon. We're skyhooking you out.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And get ready to come to the studio.
Surprise, business lawyer, sky hooked out.
Or a huge flaming dragon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Trust me.
you need to get out.
I'll lay it on your front porch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be good with some Black Rifle coffee. Just waiting, just drinking coffee on a dragon.
Yeah.
Welcome to a Wednesday.
Yeah, welcome to Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, I'll get right to it. My question is about, Missouri. Of course, I would like to say that we are good, but I think we're about mid. They talk about MID, ZOU.
Mhm.
And that especially comes with the football program. And, we had some of our moments last year. Of course, we almost beat the top team in the country, and that was just a heartbreaker.
Yep.
But I don't know about this quarterback room, guys. Brady Cook, he doesn't seem to have some awareness. There's plays where I'm watching and he just seems to not see any of the pressure coming. And I'm looking in the quarterback room, Sam Horn, he was that freshman. He had a few flashes against, I think it was New Mexico State whenever he came in there. But with Mizzou being the way it is, I think that being in the SEC is the only way that our brand is even out there right now, just because no one really thinks about Missouri because they're so mid. So do you think that we should hit up the transfer portal to see if we can get something like we did with Kelly Bryant that one year? Or should we look to other schools as well? Because I just don't think our continual 6-6 seasons are going to be pulling any elite recruits.
Yeah. Look, and Missouri is a place that obviously Gary Pinkel, and I know times have changed. You've seen that you can win at Missouri. I want to see Brady Cook's growth this year, though, because I do think he has the tools. I think it's been a bumpy ride a little bit for him, and that happens when you're going through these growing pains. And I think this is the year. Luther Burden coming back was huge for y'all. I know losing Dominic Lovett, is unfortunate, but having Luther Burden come back is huge. Not just obviously for the special teams reason, but the threat and decoy that he can be really at the same time against defenses kind of gives you a hint into what they're doing. But I want to see Brady Cook's growth this year because I see flashes of his game that I really, really like. You look at what he was able to do at Auburn last year, getting them in position, should have won the game, couldn't hit a chip shot field goal. But what it's going to come down to is two things. Offensive line, right? How good is your run game? How good is the pass pro that's going to help him out? Because Brady does have some wiggle. Now, when it comes down to transfer portal quarterbacks, I don't know how much is left out there, brother, that's going to be able to actually help you this year. And Drink, I know he got the extension, right? I know that there's, a lot of faith in Drink out there, and I hope he does well. I really, really do. But this is a year where I think you may see Brady Cook's development come into play. I think he could surprise some people. Not that I'm sitting here saying Missouri is going to go 9-3. They need to do something this year, but I wouldn't give up on Brady Cook just yet.
And this schedule's tough, boys. Obviously they'll have their SEC East schedule with Kentucky, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, and Vanderbilt. But your two crossover games are LSU and Arkansas. And then in the non-conference, Kansas State, Memphis, and Middle Tennessee.
It's not fun. You need to win. They need to fall on the other side of winning one possession games. I mean, you go back to last year. I mean, you lost to Auburn by 3. You lost to Georgia by 4 and had it almost wrapped up at the end of it. Yeah. Lost to Florida by a touchdown. If they could just find, it's like TCU won all their games in one possessions.
Yep.
Won all of them. If you can just win even half or more, I feel like you'll have an acceptable season, and maybe Cook's experience will be the difference.
Well,
maybe
we always say the game is typically decided by 3 to 5 plays.
Yep.
Typically 3 to 5. You run all these plays, it's decided by 3 to 5.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that Kentucky game.
You lost Kentucky by 4. That's right. Yeah.
You can go down the list. But Ben, man, congrats, buddy.
On that penalty at the end.
Yeah. Well, I would believe in drink, man. Hey, hell of a week, buddy. Keep it going.
Man.
Who's going to carry the boats, man?
Yeah.
Talk to you soon, Ben. See you, man.
Yeah.
All right. Cody in Illinois.
Here we go.
Cody, what's going on?
How do you do?
All right. Who is ready for a QB 10 update?
All right. So can you just tell everybody out there that he's simulating a season with David Cone as a freshman starting quarterback at Michigan. They're 2-0. Beat Vanderbilt, all right, kind of a rocky start. Big win week 2, even though he did turn the ball over twice. Some people are talking, but how do you do week 3?
All right. So I'm going to start today with his stats. Let's start with his stats.
This is against who now?
12 of 26. This is number 12 Michigan versus number 2 Notre Dame. All right. So stats first. 12 of 26 for 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 0 interceptions.
Hey, we didn't turn the football over, though.
A lot of checkdowns.
So, with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, Notre Dame took the lead 27-25. And then on this game, it just shows the scoring summaries. So the next line, I'm going to read this next line to you. 59 seconds remaining. QB 10, 54-yard pass to wide receiver 16, all capital letters, touchdown.
Adrian Erickson!
You did it! 27.
Oh, what was the final score, Cody?
32-27.
Oh, my God! You go into South Bend and you beat the Irish.
Come on! Hold on, give me the emotional music. Can we do that with a caller? I need it. She said yeah.
Yeah, we can.
All right, hold on, Cody. Give me the music. David, I need you right now.
No, you got this.
You want me to get it?
Yeah.
My guy, David Cone, starting freshman quarterback at Michigan. It's a big year. All right, they need to win. They're putting it in a freshman's hands. First week against Vanderbilt, look, it's Vandy. You're not going to go out there and play our A game, and he didn't. All right, people were worried about the turnovers. Week 2, you get a dub, it's a nice dub, but you throw 2 picks, a lot of questions. All right, it's just like Ben getting into law school. It's all about your first test. Week 3 is his first test at Notre Dame. Brady Quinn on the other sideline, the biggest instrument Notre Dame has. Yeah, you took the lead late.
Took it.
What did Lou Holtz say? Listen, man, it's Notre Dame. It's touchdown Jesus. Okay, we'll see. David Cone, a.k.a. Touchdown Jesus. 54-yard touchdown pass. The Wolverines win it. The David Cone era begins now. People saying national championship.
Wow.
Some people even saying Heisman.
People are already booking tickets.
Walking around town, you're never paying for a beer again.
Nope.
Right? You're never paying for Sonic or any of that stuff again. So congratulations, David Cone. Just don't blow it in week 4.
Hey, come from behind, fourth quarter victory. That's what it's all about.
Look, hey, Cody, who do we got
sometimes
week 4?
It's not about letting the storm pass, boys. You got to learn how to dance in the rain.
All right, we have Wisconsin in week 4.
Oh, God.
It's a trap! It's a trap!
It's a run! The big house. Bring it.
You got to be confident. You're just oozing confidence
right now. Didn't turn the football over. Let's get that completion percentage a little higher, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, look,
12 of 26. What are we doing?
They had some drops.
Well, let's hope so.
Get in the lab and work on some Ken.
Appreciate
Cody,
it,
that's
Cody.
fantastic, man.
Good
Please
stuff,
keep the
man.
updates coming. What a huge dub. I can't believe it. I'd have lost that bet. I'd have taken Notre Dame probably -8.5.
Golly, good.
2 possessions?
Good. Get out of here.
Jeez.
You're off the board.
You're
off the board.
Yeah, well, guess what? You don't believe in Sheev. That's what happened.
Thanks, Cody.
Thanks, Cody. Great call.
All right, TriStar in Chattanooga.
He's a TriStar.
TriStar, what's going on?
It's like a circle, but it's not.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, did you know that some of these Michigan people that come in my Twitter spaces, they blocked me after Boo Carter committed? Because I was trying to go in there and tell. Yes. They blocked me because of the fact that I was telling them for a year. I was like, listen, he's a local guy. I know what I'm talking about. I know people he knows. He's going to Tennessee. Oh, no, he really liked his visit to Ann Arbor and stuff, which he did. Absolutely.
Yeah, look, shocking. Shocking somebody stayed home.
Exactly. But anyways, I tried calling the other day. It just didn't work out. But anyways, you know, I was wanting to talk about the 2024 schedule, and one thing I was hoping for is that we got Texas, but obviously it didn't happen. They gave us Oklahoma, Teipel's returned to Norman and all that stuff, so that'll be hyped up, but I really wanted Texas so bad. That whole battle of the UT thing, and both fan bases snip at each other. It's a natural rivalry with each other because both states are so intertwined with each other. And
well, you know, TriStar, this takes me back to something that we kind of talked about. Like, everybody's talking about some of these games that we're not going to get instantly in 2024, you know, like the Auburn LSUs or South Carolina Georgias. But I totally didn't even think about the Oklahoma Tennessee thing. I didn't even think about that. About Josh Heupel. Totally forgot, you know, national championship winning quarterback there. Totally forgot about it. Then you have Texas and Tennessee, which are going to play eventually. There's going to be so many like offshoot rivalries that get started because this Texas and Oklahoma had. Because that's how big the brands of Texas and Oklahoma are. But I'm telling you, 3 or 4 years from now, people are not even going to be talking about, oh, well, we didn't have this and we didn't have that. They're going to be talking about what we do have. Did not even think about the Oklahoma.
Is Texas going to be the most hated team in the SEC next year? Everybody hates Texas.
Well, again, yeah.
Everybody hates Texas.
Look, it's like the kid who transfers in, right? Like you don't know you're trying to feel him out. Oh, he's cocky.
Like the amount of hate.
His dad's a senator.
The amount of hate that there is for Texas. If you're Oklahoma, you're just like, yes. Yes.
But then you look at your schedule and you're like, no.
Yeah, that's going to suck either way, but at least people don't hate you. People even because Texas fans every year. It's our year, guys.
You want me Jordan Peterson?
This is year. It's this, A&M. Like maybe it's just Texas.
I'm a Jordan Peterson.
Other than the Rangers, but everybody hates Texas.
In order to hate.
There has to be love.
There has to be love.
Well, mainly a lot of it is with the Texas thing with Tennessee. Like I said, they've actually went to court because if you notice, both use the interlocking UT logo. Back in the 80s, they both, I don't know if it was the coaches or actually the universities themselves, went to federal court, and they made it where if it's east of the Mississippi, Tennessee can use it. But if it's west of the Mississippi, Texas can use it. So, say Tennessee plays at Oklahoma, they can't use that logo, like in baseball or something.
Yeah, what is this, a center for ants?
That sounds perfect for a nice little rivalry.
I'm telling you.
Texas.
Like,
they got it with Tennessee.
Who's checking that? So right now, if I got somebody from Texas just to drive right to the east of Mississippi and stay down there and just start putting logos up. What was the SWAT going to show up?
You don't want to know.
Yeah,
you LL Cool J going to show up with like Michelle
Steve
Rodriguez?
Sarkisian is going to be on a horse just coming right behind.
TriStar's got a whole militia of people the second you cross over that river.
Well, it's just like you got that with Tennessee. You got LSU players drinking your Gatorade on the sidelines. One team you don't want to piss off is LSU. No. You and the whole Georgia thing, the ish they got talk, the Bama rivalry we got going on. Ole Miss. I'm telling you, like, everyone hates Texas. I'm saying the first couple years is going to be rough. I don't care if Arch Manning is your quarterback.
We'll see. But
great call.
TriStar, we'll see in the spaces, bro.
Hey, congrats on Boo
Michigan
Carter.
People, calm down,
Congrats on Boo Carter, man. Take it easy on those Wolverines now,
Michigan, I tell you what, they can block a lot nowadays.
All right. All right. Last one here. Jack, Spy Guy, 024 in Minnesota. What's going on, Jack?
It's freaking freezing out here.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Jack?
Hey guys, so I want to actually ask a quick question here, and then I have a quick little funny story. So can you guys do a top 5 World Series, not top 5 World Series games, but like top 5 World Series as a whole? Because I know you guys are Braves fans. Well, 2 of you are, or at least 1.5 of you are. But I've read from a few sports sites that the 91 World Series is at least top 3, and Game 7 of the series is the best of the World Series history, that game. So what are your thoughts, even as Braves fans, of the 91 World Series? And yes, full disclosure, my Minnesota Twins did win that World Series, and that was the last one that we've won since then.
Look.
So, yes, I'm biased, but I have heard from multiple sports sites that it is an all-time great World Series.
I am. Look, we're all fans of somebody, right? Number one, shout out Terry Pendleton. All right. Number two, we're all fans of somebody, but as somebody that loves sports in general, I can take a step back and say that was a great series. Just like 2013, Auburn, Florida State. I was devastated Auburn lost. But I can take a step back and say that was a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game. So I would put 91. I don't think that's crazy saying it's top 3. I mean, if we're going by like total series, right? I would put it in there. If we're going by moments, you obviously look at the shot heard around the world for the Pirates and Joe Carter with the walk-off to win it. But yeah, from a series standpoint, the Subway Series was incredible, obviously. I'd put
I heard 1991 was a bottom 3 World Series of all time. 2021, really good, though. 1995, a good World Series as well.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Check those out.
That makes sense, though. But now, go ahead. What's the story?
So I did hear a funny story from the 91 World Series. So Tom Kelly, the manager of the Minnesota Twins, he wanted to pull Jack Morris in the 10th inning because he had been pitching the whole game and he was just absolutely shoving. He had 9 scoreless innings at that point. And but Morris wanted to stay in. And so Kelly consulted the pitching coach. And the pitching coach was like, well, Morris might as well stay in. And then Kelly said, okay, I guess it's just a game. So,
Look, you're out there dealing. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying you're out there dealing for 9 scoreless. You tell me you can go out there on the 10th. All right, I'm going to give you the ball. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm not going to say
exactly.
no.
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
To shut
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, Spy Guy, we appreciate it, my friend.
Man.
Stay warm out there. I know
Thank
it's
you,
summer,
guys.
but still.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
See you, buddy.
Blaine, you want to read the Booster Club while I'm headed over to
A
the
$9
board?
mil norm of the $5 donation says H.R. Beck is a cheating thief.
H.R. Beck?
I think so, yeah. H.R. Beck is a cheating thief.
Who's that?
I don't know. But quit stealing.
Stop it.
Got a Brian Gander $20 donation, absolutely throwing a bank now.
Brian, hey, by the way, shirt's on the way, Brian.
The ORU Florida game was one of the best live baseball games that I have seen. The inside the park home run from ORU was absolutely electric. The CWS was absolutely the best way to spend Father's Day with my dad.
Yeah, I had a little dual screen action, had the golf tournament on one, College World Series on the other. Reed was over there looking at pictures from the wedding that we just got. It was just a great situation. I was surrounded by animals and stuff. We had great food. It was fantastic. But look, Oral Roberts, man.
They covered that 2.5.
Covered that 2.5 at plus 100. Ooh, I like that. Gonna be interesting. Tomorrow it's going to be very, very interesting. TCU versus Oral Roberts, I believe, round 2.
All right, let's go to Dre. It says Phoenix Suns are winning the championship next year.
Put a stack on it right
NBA.
now. Put a stack on it right now.
Do you think they'll be the odds on?
No.
Nuggets
will. And then me. And then maybe the Suns.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're the odds on favorite to win.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I would.
From a betting standpoint. Nathan Johnson, what's up, Nathan? $5 donation. 6 straight weeks of cold showers.
Yeah.
Are you still doing that?
At what point?
I could never.
It hurts.
At what point do we have to
never
drop
do it.
you out of a plane, like in a foreign country, for you to start doing work after 6 weeks? Aren't you a Marine now?
I could never do it. If there's anything, I can't do it. There's a 0%.
David, are you still doing it?
Yeah.
You're still doing it.
Yeah. It's not fun.
So hold on. Just explain this. So you get up in the morning, obviously. You walk in the shower and you turn it on cold. What's that moment like when you step in it?
It's
Do you
awful.
scream?
No, I don't.
I
Got
would.
over the screaming.
I'd start crying.
We have a close conversation with God. And it's 60 seconds.
I'm not talking.
60 seconds, man.
Yeah.
And then
Even
it makes
God's
the warm
like, I can't
shower,
believe you're doing
and
this.
then it makes
God's
the
like, you
warm
don't want to drink
shower
warm water, right?
feel even better. It does.
Oh, man. Let's go to
Builds
Mike RFF.
character,
It's
you
a
know?
lifestyle. Hashtag
Builds
Ask
character. It
Brandon
also turns you to the Unabomber.
Yeah. What would Cone's sports headline be after the win? After the win against Notre Dame. What's the sports headline? Cone's?
Headline?
Yeah.
Cone makes point.
What would be the headline, Dave? What would your headline be?
46% completion percentage.
Yeah.
Needs to be better.
Cone stands tall. I can do this all day.
Let's go to Andrew Gilmore. He says, a new playoff format, although fun, has made the regular season less important. They're my MLB here. Ask the Dodgers. They dominated the Padres, but losing the playoffs because their bullpen caught fire.
I get the argument, right? more teams in the playoffs, waters down the regular season. I hear this in college football. But don't we always say that, and then the playoffs get here? And we're like, man, look at the Miami Heat in the play-in game. Just ran all the way to the championship game. Like, I feel like we always say that until we get to the playoffs.
It's about getting hot at the right time. Cal Canning says, the cold showers sucked at first, but funneling the ninja focus, I've come to enjoy the cold shower.
Yeah.
Ninjas don't take cold showers.
Well, David Michigan does. David Michigan does. Actually, that
David
would be the
Michigan's
headline.
not a ninja.
David Michigan saves Ann Arbor the same day as
Captain
Notre Dame
Hindsight.
game.
Captain Hindsight. All right. Landon, have your bets.
What's your deal, dude?
What's your deal?
Well, they're in the group
It's amazing. I have everybody else's bets but yours.
Wow, it sounds like a you problem, to be honest.
All right, I'll just let you read them out loud. Here's what I got today because it doesn't matter and I don't want to talk about it. Give me Tennessee money line and LSU plus 1.5, which means Stanford's definitely going to win and Wake by at least 2. That's going off at plus 189. Then LSU Wake over 10.5, which means it'll be 2-0.
Well, I'll take the other side of that because one of us has to hit, I guess. I'll take Wake minus 1.5 at plus 110.
Congrats on the win.
And then I found a plus money Nerfy here. Royals Tigers. Nerfy. No runs in the first inning, plus 100.
I love plus money. All right, that's what I'm going with. Give me the Brew Crew minus 1.5 against the Diamondbacks. The Brewers been coming through to me last weekend, covered again yesterday, and that's going off at a plus 146 there, Crain.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm going LSU, Wake Forest, over 10.5.
Please.
Plus 100. I feel like the bat.
You got that at plus 100?
I did.
I'm changing mine then. I got it at minus 110, man. Hell no.
Come on. I think the bats come alive.
It's alive.
Come alive.
All right.
I can't watch you hit 9 tanks and then you go score 3 runs against Stanford.
Ace Cones taking Stanford money line, probably a good bet. That's plus money, plus 115. Then he's taking the D-backs, another great story in Major League Baseball, at plus 100.
Here are the NBA futures quickly, even though the Beal deal has not been finalized. Nuggets plus 475 to win the championship next year. Celtics plus 550. Suns plus 650.
It's gonna be
and that's updated odds.
That's updated odds, but keep in mind the Bradley Beal deal hasn't gone through.
Okay, I'm talking about with the Bradley. Okay, I'm talking about with the Bradley Beal deal. Let's go to Texas. Said Oklahoma/Florida is going to be a rivalry of local morales.
Yep.
Let's go to Cole. Instead of patient, it's patented. Cole was wanting me to make sure I got it wrong, so it's patent, not patience. About your sheave.
Sheave,
yeah.
The sheave.
Let's go to Baby Sawyer's dad. He says this year's going to be awesome. Blake Corum's winning the Heisman. O-line will win whatever the trophy is in Michigan.
The Joe Moore Award.
Write it down, is winning the Natty.
I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan won the Natty. I think a quarterback's winning the Heisman, though. All right, what we got from the poll?
All right, poll. Had to do it. Will Rory ever win a major again?
That's a good one.
I'm going to say
or no?
I'm going to say they said yes, 57%.
They said no, 51%.
No, 45%.
They believe in Rory.
55%. We'll see.
There, I'm just aim small, miss small. I'm just waiting for Mel Gibson to be running around the woods with me, killing redcoats.
I haven't won one since 2014, boys.
It's been a while. Quote stained. All right, appreciate everybody. Make sure you subscribe. Hey, go check out the Daily Wire merch shop. Go to Originals. You can find all our stuff and the Flaming Dragon candle. Make sure you got that. We have other candles. Get off my lawn. Got a great show for you tomorrow as well. Make sure you keep spreading the word about the show. We really, really appreciate you guys. And like the chances of the Reds letting everybody down this year, we're gone.